I do think of dealing with Guardians of the Galaxy as being on untrammeled snow. And the first thing that excited me about Guardians, before any story elements or anything else, was actually creating the visual look. And the very first thing I did was I sat down and wrote a 19-page document that was called The Look of Guardians of the Galaxy. And it really was about creating a space opera that brought color back to these types of movies. There were a lot of things in that document that the places we see this most clearly. We have this very dour, ugly landscape and these beautiful skies, although they're storm-filled skies, they're beautiful.
Morax, this planet that was completely flooded and is drained away, but it was still a very light, sandy environment, so it's quite a neutral colour palette. And then you go into this secret vault, and suddenly you're into this vivid gold, green and blue, jewel-like world. So the colour kicks off quite quickly.
It's like living in an amazing life-size fish tank, but with no water. A little inside tip from movie making. You never want to submerge everything in water, especially the crew.
Morag sets up a lot of the look of the movie in terms of having technology that's mixed with something very ancient. So they have a very ancient temple that's obviously very old. But around that, it's a pretty forward, progressive society that we see when Quill uses his map gun. And so it was really setting up all those different tones in that one scene. And likewise, I think tonally, Morag sets up a lot of what is to come in the movie, because we have this seemingly very serious, dour situation with this guy who could be a human, could be a robot, we're not even sure what he is at first, finds himself in, and then very quickly we're, attached back to Earth through the music playing.
Having the music on standby and understanding what's going to be playing is really helpful, because it takes the pressure off. A movie like this is so much more than just acting. I mean, every set is a giant set. All the costumes of the aliens, of the extras, all the music, the score, the visual effects. It's like this world is created. So when you hear the music and you get a sense of what's going to be playing at the time, you think, oh, the pressure's off. I can just be myself, be present in this moment, and it'll work.
Okay. That's good. I think we got it, yeah.
Although, if I have to hear the Pina Colada song one more time. This sort of utopian society. Everyone is really smart and thoughtful and progressive, and it's futuristic, but not like lame futuristic where they're all wearing like shiny tinfoil outfits. There's a lot of different alien races. There's like people who are completely pink and yellow and blue. If you'd have been in my shoes and walked in on the first day that I was here and saw all the concept artwork on the walls, mind-blowing.
Being in outer space, that's a serious situation. James's ideas are pretty funky and out there, but he wanted everything to look grounded. We had to be really careful we weren't putting antennae on heads and things like that, so it's too silly. It has to look believable.
I think that people do sense the fact that the world building goes pretty deep. We've discussed a lot about the different cultures, where they came from, who they are, what's important to them. We don't really mention Krylorians much in the movie. They're the pink people. But we have a lot of things in documents about who the Krylorians are and where they came from and what's important to them. And that was important in creating them on screen. And I think when you get to that type of specificity throughout the film, it just creates an environment that seems more real. And we have a lot more to talk about. When we're talking about the way the suns move in Xandar, the 3 suns, and that's the 3 lights, the oculites on the Nova Corps come from. That is their sun they came from and where they're going.
It was kind of daunting, to be honest. It took us a while because the color palette that James is using is pretty extreme. We got vivid colors. To turn them into humanoid aliens and so forth is quite difficult. It took a lot of testing to get the right tones and to make it believable.